Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I don't know if I'm in the. Am I in the right meeting here? I think I am.
Yeah, so the first meeting is everyone, and the second
Yeah,
meeting is going to break off into the teams.
Fiona is responding to me, so I'm just talking away randomly.
So I moved your bag and sat there. Sorry.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, Chris.
Morning.
Where's your lovely face?
I'm doing a bit of training with Liz on my laptop, so I'm on my phone.
Come on.
I'm, as you can see.
Hi, Liz. Have your camera on, guys. Then we can see your face.
Oh, is that the picture of the? Yeah.
Hello, Robert.
I need to mute my mic. What?
Nice to see your face and that you have your camera on. It's lovely.
Everything's on. Let me mute my mic.
I didn't give you no insight into what I'm doing.
Okay. Well,
Morning.
Morning, Neil. How are you?
Morning. Morning.
Very well. How are all of you?
Good. Very good.
Excellent.
Just saying, it's nice to see some faces. It would be nice to see lots more, wouldn't it?
I agree. The more faces, the better.
There, here they come.
Come on, the faces.
Amazing.
Here they come, and there my internet goes.
Good morning. Good morning.
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 Morning. See everybody. Waiting for this delivery, and it was supposed to come at 9:57. So I've left this massive note on my door saying, "Please don't go away with my flooring like you did last time. Please just leave it at the side of the house." So let's hope my note is successful this time.
Fingers crossed.
Very
Otherwise,
specific delivery time.
I know, that's what I thought. So I was like, oh, this is just going to work. So I've just been lurking outside my front door, but I haven't seen him yet. So but yes, if there's a sudden dash of me away from the camera, you'll know why. If I hear a van screeching off with my flooring inside. Right, I will give people just another minute and then we will start. We are very happy for this for people to leave cameras on, not have cameras on. All I ask is sort of full attention, because you know this is it's for us, it's our plan, you know. So I do want to make sure that it's sort of landing with everybody. But as it is going to be sort of broadcast format, I don't mind. You know, normally I'm like, please have your cameras on, but I don't mind either way today. So I will leave that up to you guys. Right, let us get cracking then. So good morning, everybody. Pinch punch, first of the month. So happy 1st of February. We've done it. We made it through January. So congratulations, everybody. Toughest month of the year. And this year, wanted to make sure that we got everybody together as close to the beginning of the year. So sort of the target was January. So almost, I'll give myself an 8 out of 10 for that, to get everybody together. So we wanted to sort of change the rhythm a bit this year about when we get together, etc. So we will continue to meet as usual a few times a year in person. That's not going to change. But I want to make sure that as we set up for the year, that we get together as soon as possible in the year so that we can sort of really set those foundations, align, get energized for the year ahead. So today, the focus of the call will be all about me sharing our vision, our purpose, and then our strategy, and then what that means for our goals as we go into 2024 and beyond. So this is a plan. It's a plan for everybody. It's a shared plan. And so in this sort of first half of the call, I'm going to talk you through that before passing over in the second half of the call to our heads of departments so that they can sort of go through with you what that means to you in a bit more detail for the areas that you work in as well. We've listened to you and we understand that different people absorb information in different ways and have different learning styles, and so therefore it's really important that we take advantage of that. So hopefully you'll find that this mix of broadcasts from me and then a bit more of a breakout into smaller groups, which will feel a bit more familiar, have a bit more space for sort of questions and discussions and a bit more engagement. So I'm hoping that this format will work for you guys. But as always, really, really welcome the feedback. You know, so this is all about making sure that we're on the same page, everybody understands it, and there's an opportunity in a safe space to ask those questions so that we can land it and all be aligned. So that's why we're going with this format today. But please do let me know if it's working for you. So just sort of a bit of context and the sort of the story so far, I suppose. So last year we had quite a lot of change. particularly sort of team change in a lot of areas of our team. We sort of put in place new structures, and that was all about optimizing the way that we work together, making it clear where decision rights sit, and and where we're focusing, etc. So the next part of that evolution was about coming up with a plan. So this is about, what our future vision is all about what we're here to do, what we should be focusing on, and the year ahead, and everything that we need to have in place to be able to do that. So before Christmas, myself and the rest of our senior leadership team got together and we started really thinking about this. And sort of between then and now, we've been working on sort of shaping, testing and fine-tuning our strategy. And so that's why we're now ready to share that with you today. So we've created a new vision statement, a new purpose, some new foundations and some goals. None of this is going to feel like a massive sort of revolution. It's an evolution of where we've come from, but we wanted to go through and say, what are the things that we want to hold on to and keep and that are really, really important to us, and what are the things that have moved on or that we need to pivot or flex or just slightly change the lens on it. And so that's why we've gone through everything to combine our thoughts, what we want to achieve, where we're heading, so that we can clearly articulate that to everybody. So I know that some people on this call have been asked for a bit of feedback as we were putting together our vision and our purpose. And I want to say a massive thank you for the people who took the time to do that. It really made a difference. And it meant that we were able to get together and really debate and sort of say, okay, this is what we're hearing from our people. What do we think? How do we react to that? So we've made some changes as a result of that. And, we feel really happy with where we've got to. But ultimately, these are things change, things do evolve. And so this is where we're at for now, and we feel very sort of motivated and aligned. But if things change, then we will flex and we will talk to you about that. And particularly with the goals, we know that when we set objectives at the beginning of the year, we have to keep revisiting them, because what we envisage are the things that we're going to be focusing on and delivering on, and the timings of those at the beginning of the year. We know ultimately some of that will change, and that's fine. And actually that shows that we're able to adapt to business needs, and that's really important. So our goals we will be revisiting very regularly throughout the year. So let's start from the top. We use these fancy words, vision and purpose, but what is a vision and a purpose? So you'll see there on the screen that this is Sky's purpose. So at Sky, we believe in better. And in order to do that, the purpose is written up here on the screen for reference. So when we talk about vision and purpose, what's the difference? So vision is all about describing where we want to get to and what we want to achieve in the long run. It should feel quite high level. It should be an inspirational statement, and in many ways a kind of aspiration of where we want to get to sort of set a future direction. It should be in some way timeless, and it should be quite snappy and memorable. It's not trying to cover the breadth of everything we do. It's something that should feel quite motivating and just sum up in a few words what we're about. Whereas the purpose is describing why we're here. It's talking to the what we're here to do, and it signals that what our team stands for and uniquely our place within the company and the organization. It's something that holds together the sort of why behind everything that we do, and it should reflect our core activities. But it won't be a list of everything. And so it's all, as you can imagine, it's always quite tricky to distill everything that we do into a few words that will be a vision and a purpose. So let's go on to our purpose. Let's take a quick look at it. Sorry, I was going to start with our vision, and I've said purpose. Let's look at our vision. So what we've come up with is sustainable spaces that our colleagues love. I'll just let that hang there a little bit. So it's short and it's sweet, but every single word in that vision has been debated and considered and really means something for us. So we've broken down, because we don't want to have the vision being a long narrative and description. So these are the words that are really important to us, but there's a breakdown of what each of those means. So starting with sustainable. So for sustainable, if we look at it from a colleague's lens, sustainable is all about our workplace helping us to make responsible choices more easily. We've put all of the thought in, we've worked out how to do things so that when our colleagues are in our spaces, they know that it's a sustainable space in the broadest sense of that word. And then as a team, what sustainable means as well is that every day as we're making our daily decisions, they are all rooted in doing the right thing. And that's the right thing for our people, for our planet, and for the places as well. And sustainable in the broadest sense of the word, it is about our planet, and that will continue to be really, really important, and we'll talk a bit about that later. But it's also about making sure that things are long lasting, and we don't just make snap decisions. We set things up for longevity, for success. They're considered. And this is something that's always been really important to us. We need to make sure it continues to be part of our vision. So then the next big word, spaces. The sustainable spaces. So for colleagues, we create a whole range of spaces, and those spaces enable them to be inspired to do their best work, and really importantly, to do it easily. And for us as a team, a space that we're creating is a team space where you're empowered to be yourself, to connect, to develop, and to thrive. So the next big word is colleagues. So colleagues, we've always used the word colleagues. You know, our colleagues are our customers. It's a sense of belonging, of team. We know that we have many different colleagues with many different needs, but it shows that we're here for them, no matter what they need and where they're based. We understand that there's a broad range of colleagues, but that we are here, and everything that we're doing is in service of making them be able to do their job better and to have a better work life. And then, as I always say, when we talk about colleagues, it's our colleagues out there, but also we are colleagues and we are a team. And that means that we pull together as one team, we support, we help each other, but also we are customers of the experiences and the services that we create as well. And we should make sure that we are making the most of that and also becoming our biggest fans as well. And then finally, big word, love. So we debated this quite a lot, and did this feel a bit lofty, and is love kind of the right word in a work context? But you'll see that love came up actually as well in the purpose for Sky. And actually, what we are delivering as a team does have an emotional connection with it. We're talking about spaces and experiences that our colleagues love to shout about. This is something that there's a real kind of connection and a pride associated with it. And it's those things which is why people will choose to join Sky and then to stay at Sky as well. And then for us as a team, we want to make sure that it's great to work in our team and in our spaces and be really proud of what we do, and so that we can share the experiences that we have with our colleagues as well. So moving on to our purpose. So our purpose, Sky Spaces create environments and experiences for you to work, connect, and thrive. So you'll see that some of that looks familiar, and we debated a lot about the work, connect, and thrive as we put these words together actually just before COVID. We revisited them again during the pandemic and after, and we've revisited them again now. And those three words for us still are super motivating and really encapsulate what we're about. But we're all about this creation of environments and experiences that we wanted to bring into the fore as well. So this is just a shorthand really for a longer narrative. We want to make sure that our purpose is snappy, but there's more to it. So you'll see on the screen the narrative, which I'm going to read out to you because we took time to sort of choose these words, and I think it's a great summary of what we're about and what we're here to do. As Sky transforms, so will we. Adapting to the changing needs of our business to thoughtfully deliver what's needed for colleagues to do their jobs well and with a smile. We create sparkling spaces and safe spaces, groundbreaking new spaces, areas to focus or collaborate, lunchtime staples and gym class favourites. We provide and manage experiences and spaces our colleagues love to shout about, feel good in, and where they can innovate, connect, and do their best work. Our spaces and experiences are the reason people want to join us and never want to leave. They give people a sense of pride, purpose, and ease, so they can get things done seamlessly and responsibly. And we do all of this whilst continuously asking ourselves, how can I do this better for the planet? That feels pretty good, hey? That's a pretty good reason to be here. It's a really motivating why for me. And that's what excites me about coming into work every day, knowing that this is what we're here to do. And it's not easy. You know, our purpose, like you look at those elements there, and I know there will be times when we're saying, I'm not sure that we're doing this, or we can fully sort of stand up and say, yeah, that's 100% what we've done here. But in terms of a vision and a purpose, it's about where we want to be, what we would like to be able to say 100% of the time. So some of this will feel a bit of a stretch and a bit aspirational, but that's right. You know, we should be getting to a place where we're proud of all of our spaces, where every experience we create is something that really brings a smile to people's faces, or really says, oh, that's made that so easy for me to get my job done. As I say, there's a lot of work to do to be able to sort of fully deliver on everything that we want to do here, but it's a great remit to have. So in order to achieve all this, we've set out 3 areas which are like our sort of foundation stones of what we do here in Sky Spaces. So look, it's super simple and it should feel quite familiar and quite recognizable. But actually, the more and more we talked about people, planet, place, the more it resonated with us and felt super motivating, and it really sort of encapsulated what we're all about. These foundation stones are really what matter to us, and I think that they're what are going to help us to achieve our vision. Our team really are uniquely placed to deliver against all of these areas, and that's why when we're working on something, if we don't feel like it's fitting into one of these areas, then actually we should be questioning ourselves really about why we're doing it. This strategy is kind of inclusive, and so that's why you'll see that all of these areas are sort of linked into each other. And in many cases, we're going to find that the things that we're delivering actually hit all 3 of those different areas at the same time. We shouldn't really be thinking about these as sort of pillars or lenses. They're more about a sort of guiding lights that are going to keep us clear on our purpose and what we're here to do. So I just want to speak a bit about each of those in turn. So for our people, this is our kind of our think, our feel, our kind of connection, and it's gonna cover quite a few areas, because people obviously is a very broad term, but actually for us it's covering our broad colleagues, it's covering specific stakeholders, and it's covering us. So in terms of our colleagues and our stakeholders, this is all about how great we make them feel about working here. And we know that working at Sky is a great place to work. And when we get it really right and exceed expectation, that's the icing on the cake. We want them to feel surprised and delighted when they're having those only at Sky magic moments on our sites. We want them to feel super proud of our workplace and something they want to shout about. You look over social media and the Life at Sky hashtag, so many of the things that are tagged there are all about what we deliver as a team. And it's brilliant the way that people articulate it. You can just feel and sense the pride in working here. And that's something that we need to continue working on. It's also about being respected to make the right decision. So having a broad range of colleagues and stakeholders often means that you can't do everything for everybody. And I know that for lots of people on this call, this will be a daily sort of juggling act, which you are brilliant at navigating. And I know it's not easy. But being in a space where we are respected, that we're making the right decisions on behalf of everybody, that we're balancing it, and that we become the trusted advisors, and that they understand that we're listening to them, we understand, and we are working with them, and we are uniquely placed to make the best decisions for them. And then for us, it's all about the fact that we are one team and we are aligned under this vision and purpose. We're working together and we all want to make both Sky Spaces and broader Sky the best place to work that it can possibly be. In this area, we'll continue working on building an inclusive team and supporting your well-being and also being a force for good. We want to continue building a culture where you feel supported to be at your best and with a team that's got your back. And also that we're creating a place where you can learn and grow. So moving on to planet. So when I think about planet, actually, the planet is one of our stakeholders too. Because everything we do, you know, so we've got our, you know, our people as our stakeholders. We also have to think, what would the planet want? And so when we're making our decisions, we should always be asking, would this pass the planet test? You know, what would the planet say they'd like us to do in this situation? So if we're always asking that, it's going to mean that we're challenging ourselves, forcing ourselves to go, what's the right balance here? And it's not always going to be easy. And so then when we talk about, you know, sustainable places that our colleagues will love, I know we've been talking about sustainability for a long time, and it's for a long time been a core value of what we deliver. But it's not easy. It's still really aspirational for me to say that we are focusing and committing on doing that in all the decisions that we make, because for lots of things there just isn't a great solution at the moment, and we have to make compromises. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't commit and still be focused and motivated to try and find those solutions and make each time that little bit better. And sometimes that means actually going out there and making changes in industry as well, which we've got loads of great examples where we've done that. So by doing this, we'll make sure that we're making the best solutions, not just for now, but for the long term. And it really shows that every step of the way, we're making these responsible choices. And then finally, place. So place is our kind of our being, or another way of looking at it is it's our platform. It's our physical environment. And those are the places that we make. We are responsible for that. And that is on us. And every day, those places and those spaces come alive, and we are creating them again. So there's a real kind of sense here of both the setup, but also not just the setup, but how we maintain them and how we continue to look after them. So in this area, it's all about the basics that we talked about as well. So that's keeping them clean, keeping them safe, keeping them accessible, and really understanding what the business needs. Because it's in our places that the next innovations, ideas, piece of content, functionality, all of the things that Sky needs to be successful is created in the places and the spaces that we are creating for them. It enables our colleagues to work and connect and thrive in these places that we're building and caring and maintaining. So by having place as one of our foundation stones, we're always thinking about the setup of it, how we continue to make it work for the business, keep it fresh, keep it functional. So by looking at all of those three things in all the decisions that we make, they will be the great foundations for ensuring that we have the right debate and we get the right balance. So that's kind of the setup. So that's what we're about, what we're here to do, and the things that we're going to be holding on to as our foundation stones. And so what do we need to deliver on then to make a success of 2024? So we need some goals. So by setting clear goals, it will help us to deliver this strategy forward this year. And I'd like to share mine with you today. I think it's really important that that our goals and objectives are shared. And I encourage you to do that within your teams as well, because that way we keep each other to account and we help each other. Because if we know what each other are looking to deliver to be successful in the year, then there's much more chance if we've shared that. I'm also going to be sharing my objectives and goals with our executive stakeholders, because I want everybody to know and understand what I'm working towards, so that it's clear that we're aligned and I can set expectations as well. So having clear goals and then turning those into objectives, they will be good markers of how successful we've been against delivering against our strategy. So my goals or objectives are broadly in sort of 5 areas. Now, I don't want you to think this is a sort of an exhaustive list of all the deliverables, just more the areas that I'll be making sure that happen this year in order that we enable our future success and make our way towards achieving our vision. So I'm just going to quickly talk about each of the sort of the 5 goals. So the first one is around team, and it will always be the top priority because, you know, if we haven't got the right team who's supported and the culture isn't right, then we won't be able to achieve anything. So within team, it's all about role modeling inclusivity. Want to make sure that we've got a nice diverse team and that everyone is engaged in an environment where we can promote learning and empower the team and make sure that we're continually making those incremental changes to make sure that we're set up to win and succeed and be the best in our roles as we can possibly be. The second area is around expectations. And whilst expectations in itself is not a very exciting and sexy word, this is all about our team delivery. And actually by setting expectations with our senior stakeholders in terms of our service level, how we work, our delivery plans, the experiences that we want to create, that is how we're going to make sure that we're meeting and hopefully exceeding those expectations as well. And this will be, you know, a balance between value, efficiency, process, ease, you know, where we want to dial things up, dial things down. And it's all about being flexible enough that we understand what the business is important to the business at any given moment in time so that we can match that. And I'm hoping by me setting these up front at the beginning of the year with our sort of senior stakeholders that we can make sure that we're aligned, and that should feel really motivating for everybody in the team, because I know that sometimes this can be an area that sort of creates a little bit of fog. But if we're all aligned and we can sort of debate that and get that really clear, I think that will set us up really well for success. And then our physical estate, this will always be sort of one of my goals and focus areas. But this year it's about sort of moving a bit further into longer term plans and making sure that we're that step ahead. We're looking out for the opportunities. We're providing and presenting options on what next. We're there to support with changes in the business, you know, be that sort of new business ventures, acquisitions, and with a real understanding of what is best practice, what's going on in the market. We can be there as trusted advisors to make sure that what we're putting in place will set us up for success in the future workforces, etc. So this is an area, as I say, where I think it's been quite difficult in the last few years to move beyond the year that we're in. This is where I want us to be looking out to sort of 2030, because we know that sometimes property decisions can take quite a long time to land, and I want to make sure that we're looking a bit further ahead now. The fourth one is around our brand. So we know that we've got a great opportunity at Sky. We've got loads of things to shout about, and I want to make sure that we are really enhancing and elevating that, because people should know and should associate working at Sky as knowing that it's a great place to work. And we've got real opportunities in this area to be sort of a massive part of what Sky's employer brand is. And I'm really looking forward to working closely with other departments in Sky as well and really owning some of this space. And then the fifth one is planet. I unashamedly will always have this as one of my goals. But this year, the focus for me is really making sure that we put Sky Spaces on the map for our commitment to the planet. I want to make sure that we're really leading the way. And this is both within Sky and outside of Sky. We've spoken a bit about this in quarterlies over the last sort of 18 months, but this storytelling piece and the helping others out to ensure that the learnings that we've got are shared, built upon, means that the impact that we can have this space is amplified even more. And I think that is massively motivating. So look, within your teams, you should look at these goals, and then you should sort of break down the relevant goals into tasks and deliverables that you should then go on to review and track progress against throughout the year. And this is what I'll be asking people to say, how are we getting on with this? So we can make sure, because only with the micro actions of everybody on this call and in our broader team today, am I going to get anywhere near delivering the great things, because this is all about what we do as a team. And these are the kind of the focus areas and the goals for me. I really want to encourage you to sort of get involved and contribute, because the goals need to feel stretching for you, but they need to be sort of realistic as well. And they should feel super motivating and something that you know, really drives you on to wanting to deliver against them. We know that there's going to be times when we're going to need to sort of adapt. So it is a flexible plan. Goals and objectives should always be something that we revisit and look to see that they're still relevant. And so some things might get dialed up or dialed down, or the timing might change, but that's okay. And actually, I would massively encourage you to be re-looking at them, so that when we go back at the end of the year, it is reflective of actually what were our priorities in that year. And then finally, I want to make sure that you're also focusing on your how. So everybody should have development areas. It's really, really important. And the one thing I ask of everybody this year is to make sure you're removing any blind spots. And by that, I mean that through really developing your self-awareness, and quite often that comes from getting feedback from others, you can really understand what things are your superpowers that you should continue to enhance, and what things are the things that don't come to you so naturally that you need to put a bit more effort into. Those things should also be written down, because you should make sure that you're prioritizing some time on them. Cool. So in the last sort of minute or two, we've gone through a lot today. So I just want to have a really quick recap. So we've got a new vision. The vision is guiding us for where we want to be in the future. And I think that's a brilliant place to be. It's stretching, it's aspirational, but we can get there. We have a new purpose. It's why we exist. It tells us what we are here to do. We've got some clear foundations, and they're keeping us clear on the why of the activities that we're doing and empowering us to challenge where necessary as well. We've also spoken about setting goals for 2024 to act as hooks for your team and your personal goals for the year ahead. And I've shared in high level mine with you. So what's next? So look, I recognise I've spoken a lot. I don't expect you to have simulated all of this information in one. So we'll make sure that we share this plan with you as well, so you can keep it and go back to it to reflect on. So we will be making a few changes as a result of this new strategy. So that will be mainly around the Monday morning meeting and the 5:15. So we'll have a slightly different format for those to make sure that we're focusing and aligning to our foundation stones, and making sure that we don't have any silo working, because everybody can contribute to all of these goals and objectives and should be thinking about our foundations. So we'll be talking more about looking back, looking forward, looking up and looking around. So that's a new terminology which you'll see in the Monday morning meeting. Right, so now I'm going to be handing over to your heads of department, because I want now for you to be able to talk a bit more about what this means for your teams, have a safe space for you to ask questions on anything that I didn't make clear, or you want to understand what that means for you. And hopefully by listening to somebody else, it'll act as a little bit of a energizer for you guys as well. So that's it for me today, but please dial off this call and then dial on to the other call that you've got in your diaries as well, so that you can connect with your head of department to hear more about what it means for your team. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Diana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.